Good morning. Happy Sunday. I'm going to clarify a few things that have been happening to me. So over the last few months, my home has been broken into. A note was left in my door jamb. I've had packages stolen off my front porch. I've been harassed at work. I've been harassed at home. I am constantly dealing with an inability to have a safe place. This has been ongoing, and I believe it has been in an effort to force me to run back to previously abusive situations, to create an instability in my life so severe that I feel like I have no alternative but to return to what can only be described as extremely abusive situations. I'm not going to comply. I would rather be unalived than ever go back to the situation I was previously in. I want to make that abundantly clear. I don't know who's confused about this. It shouldn't be confusing. It's not going to happen. Leave me alone. Leave me alone at work. Leave me alone at home. None of this should be confusing to anyone. There is an ongoing discrepancy with data. You are aware of the issue. You refuse to address it, and you continue to put me in harm's way. I don't know why you think that this is permissible, reasonable, or in any way acceptable behavior. I'm done. I want nothing to do with anything you are trying to orchestrate for my life. Go away. Leave me alone indefinitely.
Today, so how to completely solve I'm sorry, that's the wrong title. So, how to solve 50% of gang stalking instantly. How to solve 50% of gang stalking instantly. And there's a lot of videos going on about people talking about gang stalking and how it's such a terrible thing. And I do not disagree. But the question for today is how to solve 50% of gang stalking instantly. So the way to solve 50% of gang stalking instantly is to accept treatment for schizophrenia. Now I know there's going to be a million people who are gonna blast me for this. So how dare you say I'm schizophrenic? So two things can be true at the same time. So I do believe 100% that gang stalking is real. It's a real phenomenon. It really has effects on people's lives. But I do believe it's real. I believe it happened to me. I believe it's real. I believe it's a real phenomenon that has real consequences in the world. But I personally talked to I personally communicate with hundreds of targeted individuals at this point, and from blog posts to social media posts to over the phone to in person. So I've communicated with hundreds of targeted individuals at this point, and having communicated with all these targeted individuals, I've realized that around 98 to 99% of these people are schizophrenic, and I know I'm gonna get blasted for this, but two things can be true at once. Gang stalking is 100% real, and 98% of targeted individuals are schizophrenic. So it's one thing if you're talking about I have a very specific problem, which is V2K. For example, V2K. I have a very specific problem, which is V2K. It happens in this very specific scenario, and it's a problem for these specific reasons. So that's one thing. But when you're like 98% of the target individuals that I communicate with over the years, and you're talking about how every single thing that happened to you since you were born is a plot to kill you, and you're talking about how every single thing that somebody does for you, even if it's the nicest thing, even if the person's buying you food or buying you gifts, or even if somebody's paying you a compliment, the nicest thing that ever happened to you in your life is a plot to kill you. If you're saying that every single thing that happened to you since birth is a plot to kill you, you are schizophrenic. I'm not trying to split hairs here. What I'm saying is what I'm saying ultimately is that a lot.
I don't know this guy, y'all. I'm watching this video just like y'all watching it. I never seen it before either.
A lot of targeted individuals, they go out, they get railroaded into disability. So the first instinct is,
but the reason why they get railroaded into disability, because number one, you get job sabotaged. You know what I'm saying? They mess up your money, they mess up your work. Not everybody, but I would say probably about 90-something% of the targeted individual population, you know what I'm saying, they get, blackballed from jobs and stuff like that. And then you have the directed energies, you have the V2Ks, you have then some people, they turn to drugs. You know what I'm saying? Some targets might have already been on drugs. You know what I'm saying? It all depends. You know what I'm saying? And then you really get messed up when you get on the pharmaceutical drugs and then you get on street drugs. You know what I'm saying? So like, I guess like meth or whatever. But that's the reason why most of the targets, end up on disability and stuff. It's not because they want to, but at the same time though, when you really look at the situation, you really see that this targeted individual thing really shows you why there's a lot of homeless people out here anyway. You see what I'm saying? Because ain't nobody talking. You got all these bums out here on the streets, and the bums is out here gang stalking too. You know what I'm saying? They out here doing it too. But at the same time, nobody talking. Ain't nobody telling you nothing. If you go ahead and try to talk to somebody about this program, ain't nobody saying nothing. So, what you saying, D? What's your point? My point is, maybe because that bum guy is actually a targeted individual. You see what I'm saying? Or maybe, I don't know, maybe the body snatch happened. It's so many questions, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, I seen they clone Tyrone for the first time. Shout out to Tatiana again. You know what I'm saying? I know she been on me to catch this movie. So finally, I got the opportunity to watch it. And I mean, I'm just telling y'all the truth. They put all that in that movie, and you already know now since they putting it in the black movie too. You know what I'm saying? It's a black movie. They're in the hood. You know what I'm saying? His name is Tyrone. You know what I'm saying? Do you know a white boy named Tyrone? You know what I mean? So we already know that Tyrone. The moment you mention Tyrone, that's a black guy. So they telling you. Usually they put stuff like this in sci-fi movies. They don't talk about cloning in no hood movie. You see what I'm saying? Hood movies is always boys in the hood, menace to society. Every time you see a hood movie, it's baby boy. It got to be some type of dysfunctional, Negroes fighting each other, shooting, bang, bang, shoot them up. Pregnancies, all this, foolishness in the hood. That's the type of hood movies that you usually see. So this is the first hood movie that was based on conspiracies, which is cloning and basically body snatching people, and they got facilities out here and we don't even know. You know what I'm saying? Now right now they they beaming in my ear right now. You know what I'm saying? They working on me right now. They working on that technology right now as I'm speaking to you. You know what I'm saying? So I'm telling y'all, like, this is going on. This is going on without a doubt. So shout out to the director of that movie, you know what I'm saying, that actually came up with the idea to make a movie like that about a hood, make it a hood movie, and it be about conspiracies. But like I said, my point is, Why are they showing you this stuff now? Why in 2024 now they making movies about hood movies about cloning? No more drive-bys and all that stuff now. Now it's about cloning. See what I'm saying? So my point is that it's basically a wrap. It's already too late. If they already showing you this, then it's already too late. It's pretty much like, you know how if back in the day, right, when cats was really moving the weight, we talking kilos and pounds and stuff. Like everybody that's doing that in this day of time, they pretty much all Antifas and informants. But back in the day when thug life was real, and cats was out here really in that game, and it was moving weight. When the feds was watching, right? When the feds was watching, like if the feds is watching, you don't know if they're watching you. They real secretive. You see what I'm saying? Because they got, you don't know who the fuck is in uniform, right? But when you start seeing federal agents, I remember a dude told me this a long time ago. He was like, because I had told him one time, I was like, yo, I remember one time I seen these boys, they was like Men in Black, yo. It was like in one of them Caprice cars. They both were suited down. 2 white boys, glasses. It's like Men in Black. He was like, yo, when you see them like that in the hood, it's already over. Like whoever they spying on, whatever, whoever they about to move on, they already got everything. They already got all the evidence and everything. You know what I'm saying? So, like, you know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. So my point is, what I'm saying is, if they're making a movie called they clone Tyrone, if they're making it a hood movie, and they're showing you all this stuff in that movie, in that one movie, then it's already too late. It's already too late. The damage is already done. You gotta understand, Body Snatchers, the movie Body Snatchers came out in 1978. You see what I'm saying? 1978. So, the damage is already done. I don't even know what the hell we waiting on. I really don't know. Let me let this guy so I can stop the video in a minute. Let me see what else he's saying.
I can just apply for a misdiagnosis. So they take out the misdiagnosis form. They apply for a lawyer. They pay hundreds or thousands of dollars at the lawyer, at the law office, they pay to file a small claims. They pay to file a misdiagnosis lawsuit to get their name cleared, and then they go through the misdiagnosis. They finally get the misdiagnosis finally goes through, and they are declared sane. But then, a year later, they're living under the overpass on Lakeshore Drive in Chicago, for instance. A year later, they're living under the overpass at Lakeshore Drive because they cannot function in society because they don't have their medication. See, so what I'm saying is, it is not worth it to invest all that money in a misdiagnosis just so that you can live off the street for the rest of your life and eat out of garbage cans. So in my experience, 98% of the targeted individuals that I have met are schizophrenic. If you have to know yourself. If you know that what you're saying is schizophrenic, then you need to accept your diagnosis. And like I said, 50% of the gang stalking problem is gang stalking itself. That's 50%. The other half of gang stalking problem is the fact that you are most likely schizophrenic. And like I'm no different. I was in denial about being schizophrenic for about 10 years. It took me 10 years past my diagnosis. It took my psychiatrist literally trying to set me up to get injured. It took my psychiatrist and my case manager literally trying to set me up to get injured before I finally admitted to myself that I was schizophrenic. And what I'm telling you is that your life will be so much easier if you can just get rid of the schizophrenia part. Then the rest, then half the problem is gone. If you can.
All right, look, everybody's entitled to their own opinion. Comment down below, tell me what you think about this guy. You know what I mean? He might have just been, body snatched or something. Who knows? I don't even know this guy. I don't know his situation. You know what I'm saying? But if he's being gang stalked, and if he's talking about 50%, he's schizo or whatever, then obviously they got you, because, obviously he don't understand the program, and he don't know about the archives that's controlling the population out here. With that being said, y'all don't forget to like, share, subscribe. We out this joint.